Hello, everyone. Happy Women's History Month. So, I decided to switch up my shirt because I'm always wearing my cardigan in these videos. But I was like, let me put a woman in my shirt this time because it is Women's History Month. So, as always, obligatory self promotion. What if I ruled the world? Poems inspired by music, written by me, your boy. It's always linked down below. And always in my link tree, there's me on the back. Check me out. And next month is poetry month, so that would be perfect. You could read some poetry. I think it's less than 100 pages because I don't remember, even though it's my book. Yeah, it's less than 50 pages actually. It's 44 pages, so that's a very quick read. And you'd be supporting me and a poet. So yeah, that would be great. So yeah, so next month is Poetry Month, which I need to be getting ready for. Speaking of that, because we only have one more week for Women's History Month. So let's get into today's video. So we're talking about the Spice Girls discography. If you don't know who the Spice Girls are, here I'm gonna give a biography. I might jump around a little bit because I did copy and paste this from Wikipedia, and I copied a lot, so we might be jumping around, and I might be making some notes for myself, like in the editing, because I'm gonna insert some pictures at some point. So, the Spice Girls are an English girl group formed in 1994. I probably should insert a picture here, editing self. And then they're consisting of Mel B, who was called nicknamed Scary Spice, Melanie C, Sporty Spice, Emma Bunton, hope I said her name right, Baby Spice, Jerry Halliwell, Ginger Spice, and Victoria Beckham, who was nicknamed Posh Spice. They've sold over 100 million records worldwide, making them the best selling girl group of all time, which is insane. Very cool. And they only have 3 albums, like official albums. With their girl power mantra, which is great for Women's History Month, the Spice Girls redefined the girl group concept by targeting a young female base, a young female fan base. Say that 5 times fast. They led the teen pop resurgence of the 1990s and were a major part of the cool Britannia era, and became pop culture icons of the decade. They were formed by Heart Management, who held auditions to create a girl group to compete with the British boy bands popular at the time. They left Heart Management, and they hired Simon Fuller as their manager and signed to Virgin Records. They released their debut single "Wannabe" in 1996, which reached number 1 on the charts of 37 countries. That's great. The debut album "Spice" 1996 sold 23 million copies worldwide, became the best-selling album by a female girl group in history. Crazy. That's great. It also produced 3 more singles: "Say You'll Be There," "To Become One," "Who Do You Think You Are," /Mama. The second album, Spice World, in 1997, sold more than 14 million copies worldwide. The Spice Girls achieved 3 number 1 singles from the album: "Spice Up Your Life," "Too Much," and "Viva Forever." Both albums encapsulated the group's dance pop style and message of female empowerment, with vocal and songwriting contributions shared equally by the members, which is really great. In 1997, the Spice Girls made their live concert debut and released a feature film, Spice World, both to commercial success. I have seen Spice World. We're going to talk about it a little bit later, actually. What was I? Oh, their Spice World tour. They went on tour for the Spice World tour in 1998, and it was attended by 2.1 million people worldwide. It became the highest grossing concert tour by a female group. Jerry, aka Ginger Spice, left the Spice Girls mid tour in May 1998. following a number one single with Goodbye, 1998. An successful 1999 concert tour, the Spice Girls released their R&B influenced third album, Forever, in 2000. They had their ninth number one single with Holler slash Let Love Lead the Way, setting the record for the most UK number ones by a girl group of all time. They just setting all kind of records. So by the end of 2000, they went into hiatus uh, to concentrate on their solo careers, which I would like to listen to their actual solo music. That would be cool, and like talk about that too. They have reunited for performance at the 2012 Summer Olympics closing ceremony and for two concert tours. They returned the Spice Girls from 2007 to 2008 as a five-piece and Spice World 2019 UK tour without Victoria, and they've won a bunch of awards. And then Jerry Spice's Union Jack dress. Uh, Notable elements of the Spice Girls symbolism include Jerry's, aka Ginger Spice's Union Jack dress, which I'm going to insert a picture of that, and the nicknames that they were given to each member of the group by the British press. Which I do have a picture that like she shows all of like their nicknames with like little spices on it. So I'm gonna insert that. Uh, and they had numerous endorsement deals, merchandise, which estimated global gross income estimated at 500 to 800 million by May 1998. Yeah, according to Music Week, I cannot talk today. Writer Paul Gorman, the media exposure helped usher in the era of celebrity obsession in pop culture. And finally, their original run was from 1994 to 2000. That's only 6 years. That's a lot of success in 6 years. That's crazy. And they were also recording Spice World and the movie Spice World, both Spice World, at the same time. So that was crazy. That was really interesting. But I just find it so fascinating that they had so much success in such a seemingly short time. So now let's get into their discography. Now, as you know, now of course these are not all of the details. But if you're wondering why Ginger Spice left, she felt overworked, which I don't blame her because they were recording an album, recording a movie, going on tour, like back to back. Like they had their debut album the year before, 1996, and then 1997 they had a second album. It was a lot going on. But let's talk about their debut album, Spice, which I'm gonna insert a picture somewhere. It was released September 19th, 1996, and the genre is pop, dance pop, teen pop, and R&B. And so you can stream these albums on all the same platforms. So I'm just going to say it one time. You can stream it on YouTube Music, Apple Music, excuse me, Pandora, Deezer, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Amazon Music. So the vibes I got from this album were fun, funky, and freaky. So a little alliteration there. So I'm gonna talk about my favorite songs, my least favorite songs, and my overall opinion for their debut album, Spice. Which I looked at so many things for this video, but I did not put it in my notes. They originally wanted to be called Spice, but it was also the name of a rapper, so then they had to add girls. And then I think people were already calling them the Spice Girls, and I forgot what their name was before. And I felt like I should have looked up why they were called the Spice Girls anyway. Let me look that up real quick. Because I feel like that would be interesting to know. Okay, let me see, y'all. I definitely have a bunch of typos, but they'll know what I'm talking about, hopefully. See if my internet will load. My space bar is just not working. Let's see if it loads in time for me to keep this in the video. My internet is just really slow today. Oh, here we go. Okay. Uh, okay, so this is how they got their name. Before they became the Spice Girls, they were a group named Touch. They later recorded a track called Sugar and Spice, and so that became the source of their final band name. So that's really interesting. I did not listen to the track Sugar and Spice, but that would be nice to hear to see how they got their name. All right, so here are my favorite songs on the album. Wannabe, their debut single. Of course, it's a classic. It's a perfect debut single. Very fun. I think I meant to put a dash, but I put an apostrophe. Very fun and showcases most of them singing. Victoria wasn't in the studio when they recorded this song. She said she was with her fiance, but it was not David Beckham, I don't think. I was like, girl, how many times you been engaged? But anyway, I saw that they interviewed about that at some interview, but I can't remember what it was. But yeah, she was not there, but it showed most of them. But it was definitely this was a great signature song for them. It shows off their personalities and the girl power they represent. A classic pop. Love Wannabe. So next song that is my favorite, So You'll Be There. Everyone gets to shine on this song and they harmonize so well together. The beat is also very danceable and fun. Once again, another friendship slash love type song that shows what they value. One day I will insert some clips of this music, but I need to figure out the fair use so I don't be getting no copyright strikes. So you gotta look these up yourself, y'all. And I would recommend listening to these albums. So, oh, and another thing, this is so random, but when I was looking up the lyrics and like listening to the songs, like after a while, I could tell mostly. I would still not know every single time the different ladies were singing, but after a while, I could be like, "Oh, that's scary. That's sporty. That's ginger, or that's baby. That's posh." Uh, so that was cool. And then Last Time Lover is the next one. A little bit of alliteration. I love Mel B, aka Scary Spice, has a major parts in this song. She is my favorite. If you haven't seen my short video, talk about how she's my favorite member of the group. She sounds great, and the rest of the girls harmonize well together. I love the beat. It's very 90s R&B vibe. Very cool and sexy song. And I don't know if beatnik is a thing for the 90s, but I feel like some of these beats were like 90s beatnik, and I don't know how to describe it any better than that. But that is like kind of cool, maybe jazzy. I don't know if jazzy is the right word to describe these beats. And then If You Can't Dance is the last favorite song. I love that song so much. I love the blend of hip hop and dance pop on this song. Very danceable bop. Once again, I love the sample of Humpty Dance. I cannot speak. By Digital Underground, that was very cool. It blended well with their singing and the vibes of the song. So I did not have any least favorite songs. I had some songs that were kind of like meh to me, but nothing that I was like turn it off. You know what I mean? So I think this album overall is very fun and versatile. It has many different topics and sounds that make every song stand out. Some songs had similar things, but their beat helped them stand out, and not putting them back to back helped as well. I think that, especially with some of the slow songs, I think they broke them up very well. So it's not like you're hearing one slow song, then you're hearing another, you know. Where was I? There you go. Oh, I feel like this album. Uh, oh yeah, I feel like this album had more R&B and hip hop songs or parts than I was expecting, and that was a great surprise. It had this overtone of cool '90s R&B beatnik-ish sound throughout, which I loved, which I already talked about. I think this was a great album, debut album for them. I would say some songs were mad to me, but I didn't hate them. I wish I had more upbeat songs though. I do wish that, but I will give this album an 8 out of 10. Really love it. And then Spice World, released November 1st, 1997. The genre is dance. It's dance pop and pop. The vibes I get were mature, fun, and encouraging. I feel like they were more mature on this album. Even though it's only been like a year, since the last one. And they were both released in November, weren't they? Let me look. No, one was September, one was November. So a month and a year and a month, difference. Okay, my favorite songs, of course, the lead single, Spice Up Your Life. Love that song. Very fun and energetic song. Classic Spice Girls bop. Perfectly fun, catchy, and international bop. Stop. Very old school and funky song. Love that this was their way of telling their team they were being overworked. Uh, which I feel like is crazy. You have to make a song to say, "Hey, we're being overworked," and then the label was like, "Hey, let's make this a single." It reminds me of how "Love Song" by Sarah Bareilles. I'm so sorry, Sarah. Was about her record label and not really about her being in love. And I was like, oh, I love when songs can have multiple meanings, and I love the Motown influence as well. Okay, so this next song is called "Never Give Up on the Good Times." Very funky, disco inspired song. Very fun, danceable, and danceable. A lot of danceable songs on their albums. I feel like Saturday Night Divas needed this beat because it wasn't giving like this song was "Never Gonna Give Up on the Good Times." It had a fun title, but it needed this production. So I really thought Saturday Night Divas was gonna be like a bop, but the beat just wasn't doing it for me. And I feel like they should have switched beats, or they should have changed the Saturday Night Divas beat to be a little more funky. And then "Denying" is my last favorite song. I really like how they have songs outside of love and friendship and just encouraging songs. I love that they have a song about staying true to yourself. Very nice for girls and young women to hear. And then my overall opinion on the album. I think this album shows how the girls matured in their sound, and really found themselves. Even though it had maybe been a year since their debut, you can see them progressing. I like that they had encouraging songs like "Do It," which is basically like just do what you want to do, about like do your dreams, and "Denying" about doing what you want and being yourself. I can't talk today. I do hate that they were overworked during this period because it would have been so interesting to see how they developed if Jerry hadn't left. I do wonder how their last album will sound without her. Oh, this is before I listened to the album. I will say I prefer their debut album still, and I gave this album a 7 out of 10. So their last album was not including Jerry's. Jerry had left. So it's just okay. Let me see. Victoria, Emma, Mel B, and Mel C. Yes. So the vibes. Oh, it was released November 1st, but this one was 3 years later, November 1st, 2000. It was pop, R&B, and the vibes I got were love, heartbreak, and perseverance. So their lead single, "Holler," I love that song. Love the beat produced by Dark Child. I feel like this is definitely their grown and sexy song. Yep. They sound even more mature than the last album. I love the more R&B and hip hop feel of this song, and I always love this song in general. So, and I also love songs that like women are like, "Yeah, I'm gonna rock your world." Uh, to men, instead of men being like, "Oh, I'm gonna be the best lover you ever had." Boo, don't like it. I want the woman to make the man holler. Okay, the next song on my favorites list is "Right Back at Ya." I love that they make a triumphant song about them not quitting and continuing their careers. I like that they wanted to prove people wrong that they couldn't continue without Ginger Spice. They all sound great on the song, and the beat is okay. I wish it was a little more upbeat for like a party track they were going for. I think this one was also produced by Dark Child, but don't quote me on that. Um, I would have to double check that. Okay, "Weekend Love" is the next one. I love their harmonies on this song. I feel like this beat really worked well for their voices. I will say I love Mel B, but her rap break was a bit aggressive. LOL. It kind of messed up the flow of the song. So like, it's going well. They're talking about, oh, I just love you for the weekend, well, not forever. And then Mel B comes in and she's kind of yelling, and she's kind of yelling on the track, her rap, and I was like, whoa, came out of nowhere. So it was pretty good until that point. So the last favorite song is "If You Want to Have Some Fun." Very funky and flirty song. Love this cat and mouse type chasing in the song. So basically, they're saying like, if you want to have some fun, find me in the club, get my number. I love this beat. Very disco retro vibes. They all sound great in the song. Um, Scary Spice's breakdown is much more calm in this one. She's not yelling; she's kind of whispering in her breakdown rap this time, so that was cool. And it kind of reminded me of Mariah Carey's "Say Something," like when she's like, "Say something good to me," and they're like, "If you want to have some fun, come get my number." Kind of same vibes. And this album, I do have some least favorite songs. "Let Love Lead the Way," "Time Goes By," "Oxygen," and "Goodbye" are all together because they all have the same problem. They're all boring and just not interesting. And I feel bad for Goodbye because I know that's their song for Jerry, and like them saying, hey, we lost a friend, but we're still good or whatever. But did not like it. They all track on and are tedious to listen to. If you space, if you space out, you will miss a lot of the verses, which I did because they weren't interesting. So I was like daydreaming about something else, and I would start listening again, and I did not know what was going on. And the slow beats didn't help grab your attention either for these. Overall, my overall opinion. I hate to say it because I was like, oh, I want to give the girls their credit. They're trying something new. I didn't want to agree with the critics, but I do agree with the critics. This doesn't work for them. I love Dark Child, but I think his beats work better with a more soulful voice like Brandy, or like a pop voice with more versatility like Britney Spears. But I like that they try to switch it up with a more R&B sound. Some songs it really worked with it, like Holler and Weekend Lover. But I really wish they had done more mature, upbeat, full pop songs. That would have been good. It would have been nice to hear them do that again, but with more mature voices. Even though I usually don't have a problem with pop or R&B songs talking about love, it was a lot on this album. I was like, love, sex, love, sex, love, sex. There's a lot of songs like that. And I wish we got more friendship and empowering upbeat songs because how many times and how many ways can you seduce a man? LOL. I wish the topics were more diverse like their other albums. So I'm going to give this album a 5 out of 10. I'm going to give them credit for at least trying. LOL. So I'm going to give them half credit. That's it. So this is the second group I have done a discography review for. The last time I did one for B2K, and I totally forgot. And I was like, oh, it's gonna be my first group I review, and it's not. But I did a wish list for them, like of things I wanted from them. So I did the same thing with the Spice Girls. I didn't get to 10. I got 6 because I couldn't think of 4 more things, but I really want these things. So number 1, new music and new music videos to go with the new music. And I wanted to be very nostalgic and going full pop and girl power in their message, like going full out. One last album with all 5 of them. And of course, music videos to go with the new music and showcase their creativity now with their new music. Like, they could just do it one last time. Like, if Victoria was like, you know what, I will start singing again, I will participate. That's what I want. Just one more time. And then that goes into number 2, one more tour. Just do it one more time. This could be the last time. I just want them all to be there. And I want them to all wear their unique outfits like when they first came out. When I was researching for this video, I saw some pictures of them from like their recent tours that they did in like 2012 and 2019, some years like that. And they were very matchy. And I was like, what's going on? I don't know which spice is supposed to be which spice. You need to be wearing your assigned styles. So I really want them to So funny to go back to wearing their individual like looks. Number three is new merch. Some new merch, but not just regular merch, but a mixture of like regular stuff and like unique stuff. Like how they used to have dolls and other stuff. Would love if they have a shoe line. That'd be really cool. Like the big platforms and stuff. Four, new movie. So they had the movie Spice World. I will have to rewatch it at some point, but from what I can remember, it was terrible. It was not good. So it'd be nice for them to have a good movie, but in the same kind of style, like in the same like style of like it being about them and like kind of funny and campy. But it that one was not good for me. I mean, I have to rewatch it again. Number five, a Spice Girls documentary, so that'd be separate from the new movie. So the new movie could be like fictional, but the documentary, I want a full out, very honest documentary about their time when they were all together and Jerry leaving and what has been happening since then. And I just want them to be raw and honest because I want all the tea. LOL. I do. I'm very nosy. And the last thing I want from the Spice Girls is an official Spice Girls coffee table book, a photography book of all the famous fashions, and it would have commentary from them about their looks in the book. That'd be really cool. Those are the things I want from the Spice Girls. I can only think of six things. But do you love the Spice Girls? Do you hate the Spice Girls? Do you want them to get back together like I do? Do you want more? One more album and one more tour. Um, for B2K, I said I wanted them to have one more single, but I really just, but for at least one more single, but I really want a whole album for the Spice Girls. They only have three, so they could give us one more album. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on the Spice Girls. Who's your favorite Spice Girl? Were you not really into them growing up? I had three Spice Girls dolls. I had Posh, Sporty, and Scary. And I made, even though I knew who the Spice Girls were, I made Posh and Sporty like sisters, and Scary was their best friend. So I was an only child with all my imagination and toys at my disposal. So let me know what you think. Have you listened to these albums? What is your favorite Spice Girls album? Let me know. And I will see you all next week.